You're now tuned in to 13signsastrology.com. Just gonna come at you a few minutes with just a little information, because I feel like dropping this information as I kind of get inspired. And I had a moment of inspiration, and I was thinking about St. Patrick's Day, and I was thinking about the pole that we were speaking of and the tree, and the fact that it's extraterrestrials, or what you would deem so-called aliens, that essentially initiated us into this, essentially a virtual reality program is what it is. This whole life is nothing but a virtual reality program controlled by various prompts. And if you can find a way to hack these prompts or to go around these prompts, you can do what's called beat death. And that's the goal. That's the only goal, actually, of this life, is to beat a various amount of deaths. So you hear like different myths about the cat having 9 lives, and the fact that a cat can't be killed just once because it can come back. This is going into the concept of beating a series of deaths. See, if you can beat death at least 9 times in one life, you're going to get granted an extra 80 years of life, believe it or not. Just from that. Now, it's not to say that you should put yourself into a situation where you're, suicidal. I'm not saying that. Like, don't get suicidal on me. But what I'm saying is that when the situation of death knocks at the door, there's a way for you to beat it every time. And that's what studying the occult is about, and that's what this life is about, because this life is nothing but a computer program, and the occult is nothing but a tool used to not just hack the program, but to rewrite the program and begin to master the program. So the thing you got to understand is that as a human, you are new to this planet. You have special powers just like other beings have special powers. But in order for you to gain access to those powers, you not only have to pay homage to those beings that came before us, like speaking on terms of like Homo saurus and Homo erectus and different stages that humans go through. You have to begin to learn how to pay homage to that. But then secondly, you have to understand a different world, a world of the occult that's controlled by beings that look totally different. See, this world of the occult is controlled by 24 different beings. I've talked about this. And each of these 24 beings look totally different from each other. And the dominant being that controls the visual and production aspect of the occult, referencing film and music and things of that nature, are a group of trolls, believe it or not. They're similar to treasure trolls. Remember those treasure trolls that were created? I forgot what company created them, but back in about like the 90s, they created these treasure trolls, and each troll had jewels inside of their sacral chakra, if you remember. Some of them had jewels, I believe, in their third eye. See, they try to take this away from you, and they took that out of the children's memory and replaced that with different cartoon characters and figures. But trolls are real. That's what I'm going to get into next. See, you can't get access to the pole that I'm speaking of, so you think I'm going off whack. And you may think I'm going out of pocket, but I'm taking you somewhere through a series of video clips and teachings. But you can't get access to the pole unless you first master the world of trolls, because trolls were here before us. Some people call and talk about fairies, kind of similar to trolls, but they're different. But trolls were here before us. I want to focus on trolls and St. Patrick's Day, because trolls were the original saints, and they held the information about the Akashic records on the light side and the dark side. There's 2 versions of the Akashic records, and I'm going to talk about that too in this series. And you have to understand all of this before you can even talk about music. So my time is running out. My airtime is running out. We're going to finish talking about the access that the trolls actually have, and the way that they access this access is through the gateway of understanding what's called portals. And once you get access to these portals, you get access to the Kabbalah, which is a tree. See, there's various different Kabbalahs, and to understand a Kabbalah, you have to understand 11 different levels. And you get 11 different viewpoints, is what it is. You get 11 different viewpoints and aspects, or what you would call shots, kind of like snapshots of the past, present, and future on this planet. And from there, you are deemed, or you are commissioned with teaching people the truth about where we came from on this planet, and how most of the energy and entities on this planet were much smaller than us humans. See, the real force that runs this planet are a group of trolls that are no more than 2 feet tall. That's what I'm going into, 2 to 4 feet tall, these different trolls. And they control this world through the knowledge of the planet, and knowing the fact that the planet is a hologram. And if you do a certain thing at a certain time here on this planet, you can begin to move energy. Is what you can essentially do. And you can begin to change and shape the layout of this planet, like in reference to weather. See, this is why the weather is fucked up all over the planet right now, because you can change the weather once you get access to the portals and the caverns in this earth, and learning to where to go at a particular time. And this is what trolls master, and this is how they master Kabbalah. And then they eventually master production and make trillions of dollars off of this information. So this is where we got it from. So I'm going to go more into this culture, is what it is, and how it actually ties into your cartoons, your music, your film, your soap operas, your devices, all controlled by trolls. So stay tuned. I'm going to come back with more. My airtime is out. Thank you for listening and watching. And as always, stay vigilant. Hotep, namaste. Wadu.